Hello and welcome to the Digital Voices Creator Podcast. I'm super excited today because we have Amman Ahmed here, and you may not know his face and you may not know what he does, but we've been working I remember back when I was at YouTube years ago, he runs the brilliant channel Relax My Dog and Relax My Cat, which together have like over 700,000 subscribers.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And also a Relaxing Records music channel, but it's the type of content that you never expect to see on YouTube.
It's true, yeah.
Sorry, do you want to introduce yourself better than I just did?
Yes. So, hey everyone, my name's Amman. I'm the founder of Relax My Cat and Relax My Dog. We make relaxing music and TV for cats and dogs. And it's kind of like the Netflix for pets, or the Petflix as they call it. And it's now used by 20 million cats and dogs around the world. And it's just getting bigger and bigger. Also, we got Amman to spray paint a camera, which I guess isn't something you do every day. And please comment something that you find interesting or new, something you learned that he said during the podcast, and then we will post it to someone. So how did you get started with Relax My Dog and Relax My Cat? So it started around about 2012, and it was kind of like I was working on another YouTube channel with my music producer, and he was the only one that I could afford at the time. So he was in El Salvador, which happens to be like a really violent country. Yeah, so his cat and dog got noise anxiety from, the police sirens and stuff like that in his neighborhood, because it's literally run by, a very notorious gang. Yeah. And I came across some music therapy research for pets, and we put the two together. He had the problem, I had the research, and he had the music production skills. And then we thought, let's give it a go, see what happens. And then slowly we just started iterating, and then we just started getting feedback from users. Obviously, the first bit of music was quite bad, but people just gave us feedback. They're like, this works, this doesn't work, try this, etc. My dog likes this, my dog hates this. And then slowly we just started getting more data, and we just started iterating from there, and that's how it grew.
Yeah, it's funny because you definitely approach something that I think is quite an emotional subject for people, is like helping their pets' anxiety. And it's very close to their hearts, but you approach it in a very kind of lean startup inspired way, like a very entrepreneurial. So did he start with the problem and find that he could soothe his own animals?
Correct. Yeah.
And then how quickly from posting that first video did people start viewing it and giving you feedback?
It took us a while to get feedback, so it was a very, very slow approach. Because like I've had the business for like 7-8 years, and just slowly, just really interacting and engaging with users and building real relationships with them. They started giving us like feedback eventually, but it took a bit of time. So
is this planned as like a side hustle? So you said you're working on another YouTube channel at the time.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
It was called Relaxing Records.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
From there, you started Relax My Dog first.
Yeah.
And did you anticipate it growing, or did you think it was just a really crazy idea?
I thought it was a crazy idea. I knew that it was a bit too soon for its time. And actually, it was weird because I had another YouTube channel which was Easy Sleep Music, which was my main hustle. Relaxing Records was my side hustle, and Relax My Dog was the side hustle for the side hustle. Yeah, so it's like, it was a bit crazy.
And now it's switched. It's become your main. Yeah.
It's the main business now. Yeah.
So how many people found it initially and were sending you feedback? How quickly did it grow?
It's all a big blur over that time, but it was just people were telling us, like, the first thing we put in was like something called a sound sweep, which is a high pitch to low pitch instant noise. For some dogs it worked, some owners hated it. So it actually annoyed the owner a lot more, but it worked with the dog. So we're like, how do we make this friendly for both the human and the dog, so they enjoy it together? And more importantly, how then that relaxing energy from the human then also feeds off onto the dog as well as our content. So yeah, it just, like I said, it took a lot of time. We experimented with a lot of things.
Yeah. And was there did you find like playlists went well, or did you find longer videos did better, or did people turn it on and then leave?
Yeah, so like so we found that longer videos obviously worked a lot better, but then we started like breaking into different genres. Maybe this was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. We started going into different genres. So for example, like reggae music for dogs is our most popular genre, which we create all our content in-house. We don't license anything. It's all our own research. And we noticed that reggae music is the best because it keeps the dog like chilled but happy. And like when they're left home alone.
Okay, so what are the things that makes dog music and cat... Okay, so let's start with dogs. What are the things that makes dog music different to human music? What relaxes dogs?
So to be honest, like there's a lot of well, I can't go into the details of it, but there's a lot of like frequencies at different levels, musical arrangements, and just like the way we lay out the instruments and stuff like that. And I think with the cat stuff, like there's a different range of frequencies, different types of music, and then and certain sounds as well. So for example, like with cats, like when we include like heartbeats, that can kind of trigger off like something similar to when they were like growing up from their mother, etc. So that then makes them feel a bit more comfortable.
In viewing habits, is there a difference?
In viewing, yeah. Obviously, dogs are a lot more engaged, and cats are very independent most of the time. So our dog side is a lot more popular, and yeah, with the viewing habits, it's a bit smaller for cats, but it keeps them entertained. Like especially our cat TV, we create fast twitch content, so that it'd be like birds on the screen, like mice, squirrels, etc., where we're filming it in some like wildlife park, and you see some of the fan videos we get where the cats are literally on the cabinet of the table, just staring at the screen, trying to like touch it. And
so cats are way harder to edit for then, I guess.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. But it is, for the owner, we say just make sure your TV is actually like solid. Because we've seen some cats just literally launch at the TV.
Really? Have you had videos of TVs falling over and stuff?
Nearly. Like rocking, basically, yeah. So,
crazy animals.
Yeah. So that's more the entertainment. So that's the area that we're kind of going into now. Is like, it's not, even though it's called Relax My Dog, Relax My Cat, I think we're going into this area of entertainment for pets. So when it's kind of like their virtual pet sitter in a sense when you go to work. Yeah. Keeps them occupied in some way.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So it is interesting, but obviously because we've done so much research, it is also quite hard to explain without giving away too much. Because this is pretty much our like secret sauce.
Bread and butter. Yeah, it's like you're the only channel doing it.
Yeah.
And that makes you incredibly special for any pet partnerships, for any pet owners. Do you feel like you're kind of guarding a patent or something, like trying to protect your USP?
Not really, because I think for us, like, it's our brand that's become really popular. Like all the press that we've got, people don't say use dog music or cat music, they say use Relax My Dog. Like
you're like the Coca-Cola of pet relaxation.
Yeah, literally. So that's something we've emphasized on a lot. Like we engage, even now we engage, like most of my team, we're just obsessed with our like users on YouTube. I mean, it's not just all thanks, it's like, hey, that's amazing, you know, how did it work, what's your dog called, breed, etc., loads of open questions, and just creating conversation. And then it's insane because like they get so surprised, like, oh my god, you actually care, but you actually genuinely care, like the way we structure our replies. And they're just so blown away by it, and they do our marketing for us because we literally give a shit.
I remember when like, so maybe this was like 4 years ago, you were like, people have been sending in videos of their pets listening to the music, and you're featuring it on playlists on your channel.
Yeah, we still get that. We get loads and loads of videos, and like I said, and loads of comments, and it's insane. Like some of the stuff that we hear, And this at first I thought was a joke, but then I realized it became more and more frequent. But people were requesting music for their dog's funeral because that was their favorite track when their dog was alive. That's how it, like, we were like, wow, this has been so integrated within the life of the pet and the human, that, and we get these requests like, really? Yeah, like quite often. Like I was saying, like when I was in LA, like I bumped into a random person who said that their dog had like terminal cancer, and they used Relax My Dog to make the process a lot easier when the dog was going through that That's depressing. I mean, amazing, but depressing. Yeah.
And it's funny because I think a lot of when people think about YouTube creators, they often don't, unless they're like a lifestyle creator that's very open about, say, a mental health struggle or coming out, people don't imagine that YouTube can connect so deeply with people's lives, with viewers' lives. Yeah. But you're not even in the videos at all. Like, you're the architect of this, but you're kind of definitely the business brain behind it. Yeah. But you meet people whose lives have been changed because you made their pets happier.
It's insane.
Which is mad.
Like, it's literally mad, yeah.
Did you ever imagine when you were growing up, what did you want to be? Did you ever imagine you'd like be someone who ran a relaxing music for pets empire?
No. Literally. I knew I wanted to start a business, but I don't know. Like, it was just one of those things. Even now, like, I wake up every day, I'm like, shit, this is my business. Like, it's insane.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
So what was your, because going into, I think one of the things that makes you quite different to the way most brands or people perceive YouTube creators is you definitely are very business minded. Yeah. And you founded startups before and sold them. So did you always come at it from a very business minded angle when you launched YouTube channels?
Definitely, 100%. I was like, for me, I think it was more, not even business, just data. Yeah, just being obsessed with data. And that's kind of how I look at it. Like, my focus is just 95% just data, which is a bit boring. That's the founder.
Is it through, do you use YouTube Analytics for that? Or do you have other data points that are really important?
Yeah, YouTube Analytics. But it's not, because we're not just on YouTube now. We're on every music streaming service. We're on like Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Like, we have our own subscription platform, our very own Petflix, which is like $5 a month. And like, so I'm just like looking at everything, so it's not just YouTube.
So what's the customer journey like? This sounds really weird. What's the customer journey like for Relax My Dog or Relax My Cat? Like, do people discover you on YouTube and then go to streaming services, or do they discover you on like Spotify or
Yeah, it's a bit of both. Like, in a sense, like we want to give the customer like the choice of how they want to consume our content. Yeah. So for us it's just like, let's just be on every platform and then see which one is the most successful.
And where do you get discovered from most now? Like, what?
So it's mostly like YouTube, but like also like word of mouth, on Spotify, on Roku, surprisingly, is quite a lot, yeah. Because Roku is massive in the US, and we get discovered a lot there.
They have good search functionality. Is that why people like searching Relax My Dog?
Yeah, exactly.
It's become like a household name brand.
It is.
Weird. It's mad.
It is mad, yeah. But I think, I guess going back to the branding aspect, I think the moment was on like July 4th, obviously in the US when it's like fireworks, Independence Day, when a lady, it was like Fox News, Las Vegas or something like that. And there was a lady who was the head of some kennel of the whole state of Nevada. And they're like, talk about giving tips on how to relax your dog, and she's like, there's this amazing YouTube channel called Relax My Dog, and it really works, etc., etc. I was like, this is insane. Like, we don't even know who this lady is.
What year was that?
Like this year.
How many users do you have, if you include YouTube subscribers, for Relax My Dog, Relax My Cat, across all the platforms?
So we know about looking at the data and the unique data and all that type of stuff. Like, that last year, and this is maybe a slight underestimate, but we know that we had 20 million cats and dogs around the world consume content on our platforms, on every, and maybe this year, like, I need to work it out, but it might be like 30 million, 35.
So that's fast growth, given you were going for 7 years as well, because it seems your YouTube growth seems so consistent. Because I remember it, like, I think 2-3 years ago you were on 150,000 subscribers for both, I think, and now you're on like 500,000 for Relax My Dog and like 400,000 for Relax My Cat.
Yeah. But what's interesting actually, like, so we've noticed subscribers is obviously a vanity metric, because we look at our subscribers, 500,000 or whatever, but our watch time, that's the madness.
How many like you must have like years and years and years worth of watch time every month, like decades of watch time every month.
It's maybe like 850 years of watch time every 28 days.
That's mad.
And then if I include all my other channels, then we're looking at 1,000 years of watch time every 28 days.
And it's really interesting because people must just like sit their animals down all day and just like leave it. But like one thing is that we've noticed a lot of humans are watching our content with their dogs. So it's not just like, maybe the animals will watch it as well, but we've noticed, because we film loads of like on our dog TV, like virtual dog walks. So that's like color graded for dog vision. And like, so I was filming in like on Venice Beach in LA, like Central Park, wherever. And I remember like editing it, I was like, I can see why humans watch this, because you got the relaxing music, you got this weird like color, and you're just walking down Venice Beach. So you're like simulating dog walking with relaxing music.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Wow.
And we're seeing a lot of that, and then it's insane, like we're getting so many comments where humans that I don't have dogs but I watch this.
Really?
Yeah. This is happening more and more. They're like, I don't have dogs.
Are they like aspiring pet owners? Do they want dogs?
No,
they just really like
But
them?
actually, we do get some crazy ones where people are like, I love watching this when I'm high.
It's really trippy.
But it's really weird. Like, this happens a lot, especially, people in California. That's where we get the messages from. Like, I love watching this when I'm high. I don't have a dog.
And you're just like, good for you.
Good for you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's so strange, because I mean that kind of, it skews your data. You're like, I know who my typical customer is. There's someone sitting with a pet or leaving a pet when the pet's anxious. But then you've got random humans who are just screwing up your data sum.
Yeah. But mostly it is like dog owners watching it with their dog, because they don't mind. It's like, it's relaxing music, and you're kind of like walking through the countryside, so it kind of chills out the human. And obviously, the dog is, that's the person you want to make happy. So you will, you don't want to watch whatever's on ITV.
No, you're like, the dog's not chill. So when was the first moment where you're like, shit, we've really got something? Because I mean, you're launching it, you're like, this is a good idea, I think it's ahead of its time. But were there pivotal moments where you decided to dedicate more and more of your staff time to Relax My Dog? Because you shifted all your priorities.
Shifted everything, yeah.
So what were those moments?
It was a difficult one, because the journey was a bit of a blur, because then I went to have a tech startup, and raise money and did all that stuff and failed. Actually, that was the moment. I remember when my startup, it was doing really well, and it had loads of opportunities on the table, and then had investors, etc., and on paper everyone like was good, and then there was a lot I learned as what type of CEO and founder I want to be. And I think the pivotal moment for me was when my company was in a struggling position, but it had a lifeline from other investors that were interested. I remember going into a room and just drawing two paths on a whiteboard, because my head was all over the place. I was like, okay, I can take this path and raise a lot of money and maybe exit and make money on the exit, or I can take this path of Relax My Dog and Relax My Cat, which is like, I own 100% of it, it's profitable, it's a lifestyle business, as people would say, but it's mine. I don't have to answer to anyone. I was like, who do I want to be? And that's when I realized I'm actually not CEO material. I don't know how to be a CEO, and I'm, in all honesty, like, kind of like not organized. Like, sometimes you just need to know your weaknesses and just accept it. And I was like, that's not me. Like, I can't do that, but I can do this.
Well, it's also deciding like the structure of your life that you want.
Yeah, and it was like, what type of life do I want as well? Like, do I want to build a £100 million business and then just it's going to be too much. I don't even want that much money. I don't want to build a £10 million business, which I'd be happy with. Yeah. And it's something crazy and fun.
And how many staff do you have?
So now I've got 15 staff around the world, yeah.
And do you find that's like a manageable number? Because I guess your fear is that like somehow it morphs into, you get distracted by all these crazy routes you could take, like gaming and gaming for cats.
I stay focused, like literally, just focused on like one, a few key KPIs, and that's it. That's all we focus on.
What are they?
For us, obviously, we want to double our watch time. Like, we want 2,000 years every 28 days.
Cool. By when? In 2020?
Hopefully, yeah. In the next 12 months, we want to double our watch time. We want to grow our Petflix subscriber base. Right now, we have maybe like 3,000 monthly paying subscribers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and why can't it be 30? Even if it's 30,000, I've literally
given how many pet owners there are in the world and how much they spend on their animals. That's not a mad.
It's nothing, yeah, and it's one of those things where like I can just grow it organically. But it is an interesting position now where I said I want to grow this business as organically as possible, and but in a very lean and automated way. Yeah. Because that's when my brain ticks, when everything's automated and lean.
So this is one of the reasons I like, often on this podcast, we will have people who approach YouTube slightly differently, because we like to showcase like weirder parts of the platform people might not have considered. Yeah. And what's fascinating about what you said is your pivotal moments, it wasn't one video going viral. It wasn't like, oh, wow, I can make money from this. I think you always knew you could make money from it, but it's like a very personal choice, which I think is quite special. Like a lot of people, it's just like, wow, this video went viral and then I decided to be a YouTuber. Whereas you were like, no, this is a lifestyle I want to run, this is a platform that I believe in.
Which is interesting. Like, a lot of people like come to me, advice, I want to build a business, blah blah blah, I want to do this. I was like, before you do that, like, what life do you want? Like, what lifestyle do you want? And I knew the lifestyle that I wanted was like, I do not want to be a CEO. Like, I don't. You
are CEO.
But like, I want to be like a founder of like something, and I knew like I want to like have a business around my lifestyle, rather than the other way around.
So, what's your lifestyle? What parts of it do you really enjoy?
My lifestyle, working a lot. So it didn't quite work out. No, actually, like. Do you know what's good? I think more the fact that like, it's just this business is just like, I wake up every day like, and I'm like, wow, this is insane, and it's so integrated. So for me, it's just fun. Like, I enjoy it. Yeah, it's just complete fun.
And I guess the lack of pressure from investors makes it easier to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, you know, the business is in a very good financial position. That and I've had like I said, having investors can become a bit interesting, a bit toxic. Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah, it sounds like you've had some great experience.
Yeah,
shout out to
all the investors
that encouraged him to pursue this path.
Yeah, but I think but it was also it was a big learning experience for me. It was like, I think when I had investors, I felt like I had a job again. I was answering to someone
rather than being in control,
and I felt like their opinions, I was following their opinions because they gave me money, and I didn't know how to say your ideas are shit, just give me your money and do one. Like,
it's pretty hard to tell them that.
To do that, which so it was a huge learning experience for me as well. So
you said it's a team of 15 now. Is that mainly music producers? Are you working with the same people you were? Have people stayed with the business for a long time?
Yeah, like. I think Ricardo, we've worked together from day one. That's awesome. Like Rachel, she's been with me for like nearly 4.5 years or something.
Wow. And so is their job a lot of like community management, product
development? Yeah, a lot of community management, ideas, pretty much everything. And then I've got a dev team in India. Yeah. They do all the tech, and I scale up and down when I need it, when I need someone.
And so what how else do you want to branch out? Do you want to, like, is there a big aim for it to become like the leading pet channel in the world? What do you like?
I think for us, it's just we want to grow on YouTube, we want to grow on every music streaming service, and we just want to grow our Petflix. That's it. Those 3 areas of the business is just laser focused, aggressive growth, no distractions, no going into pet food, etc, etc. Like maybe brand deals, but that's if I can have an agency manage the biz dev side of brand deals rather than do it myself. So yeah, but I'm like, my customer is there. Yeah, it sounds a bit aggressive, but like, how do I monetize them?
Yeah, no, I think, I don't think it's weird to say that, because in the pet space there's so much investment spent on pets. I don't think it's weird to say, how do you monetize it, because people spend a lot of money keeping like the most wonderful thing in their life happy.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you have an office dog?
We have a few. We are actually, tomorrow we're gonna have some kittens in.
Really?
Yeah, in the office. One of our vloggers just got kittens, and so every month we have a meeting with the vloggers where we set the strategy, the topics and everything of what they're gonna talk about, and so she's gonna bring in her kittens all day.
That's really cute. Yeah. Do the whole team love pets?
Yeah, definitely. They all have pets, and we also have like a dog in the office.
Cool. So, apart from you.
Yeah.
Do you find it weird not having a pet and running this channel?
It is. It's a bit tricky. Like I definitely want a dog at some point, but I'm like traveling quite a lot. Like I'm gonna go to New York for 8 weeks. In January. Yeah.
What are you doing for 8 weeks? What's the plan?
Just hustling, but no, just like connecting, just spreading the brand, and just making as many connections as possible with pet food companies. And then it's just a really fluid situation right now, because I was in LA, then New York, then Atlanta, and then I don't know where
you'll end up.
Yeah, my schedule is like, it doesn't go any further than 30 days.
If you had a dog, what would it be and what would you name it?
I'd probably get a cockapoo, a miniature one, and an orange one, and I'd call it Assad. Because
it means lion.
Lion in Arabic.
Yeah, it does. Exactly. Assad means lion, yeah.
So it looked like a little lion.
That's probably cute. And it could yawn, and it would look like you could then do sound effects so it looks like it's roaring when it's yawning.
Exactly, yeah.
What is the weirdest video you've ever been sent?
I don't know, actually. They're all like super cute and just weird in the sense where the dogs are just glued to the TV, and you can just see in their eyes they're like possessed. Did
you find starting the virtual dog walks made them much more visually engaged?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So this is the area that we're branching into now, is this dog TV aspect, and we've been pushing very, very aggressively on that, because we notice obviously the humans enjoy watching it as well.
Do you find the people involved in the company want to do it for life as well? Because I think, like, if you're building this lifestyle business, you must want your employees to feel similarly.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I do everything I can to just make sure they're happy. Like I said, I learned a lot of mistakes with my previous company of what not to do. So I do that, yeah. And I think...
So what do you mean by that? If you don't mind me asking, what, like, say 1 or 2 things that you did in your previous company that was kind of the type of manager you don't want to be, or the type of founder you don't want to be?
My previous company, I think I turned into a bit of a dictator.
Really?
I think one thing, and that's, I never praised my employees when they did well, but that's because I didn't know how to do that, because I grew from an Asian background where parents really don't praise you. So so I don't know how to, when I would say well done, I'd just find it really, it would come out very sarcastic. Because I didn't know how to genuinely say well done to people. Okay,
you struggled with personal interactions with staff, and your business is now entirely online, and you don't do the community management. So I think maybe you're a really good thinker and strategist, and then you're leaving the niceness for other people and developing that more slowly.
Exactly, yeah. But it's so now I have learned how to be very engaging with the team. Sometimes we'll have a round table session, but hey, look, does anyone want to talk about what's going on in their personal life as well? So I'll go first and I'll say etc., and then So yeah, we just like open up, and I have a lot of one-on-ones with the team, and I just generally just, yeah, they seem to enjoy what's going on. And I think there's a lot of validation as well, because their friends will say that this, the job that they have is just insane. So maybe there's a lot of like outside validation. Because I guess when you look around, like the other jobs most in Manchester, just like digital agencies or whatever it is. So yeah, in a sense, I do everything to make sure
they're actually happy.
That they're happy, yeah.
I don't take this in a bad way. You're much softer now. Like you were, I think you were you're still very target driven, but you're target driven in a very, like very set on growth, very strict with what you're looking for all the time way. Whereas you do seem like happier now. You seem more rounded. I hope that doesn't come.
No, it's true. That's how I was. Yeah, I was like very, very like I said, just so focused, and just like, if people did something, I'd be like, that's not good enough. Even if it was good, I'd be like, that's not good enough. Or I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, well done, on to the next one. But in a quite a sarcastic way. But now, we enjoy our celebrations. Like we have a target for the team. If they hit a certain target, I'll take them to Lisbon for like 2 days. That's cool. And just no work. We just get to chill. Yeah, so just things like that.
Actually enjoying spending time with your team, because you're building something that is enjoyable.
It's like, it's, yeah.
And how often do you post new music or new videos?
So like once or twice a week. So we pump out a lot of content.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot. And do you find older content performs best, or content in playlists, or 8 hour or 5 hour long or hour long?
We're always optimizing, and the data is always changing. Like sometimes an 8 hour video will perform really well for a few weeks, and then maybe a 15 hour will perform well, etc., etc. Yeah. So and we always we use the community tab a lot, especially the polls. Yeah. So we ask our audience, even recently, we said, what's your favorite dog TV? And they say beach walks. Then they say countryside walk, and the beach walks one was really good. So we're like, right, we need to take the dogs, go to the nearest beach, and do loads more filming.
And do you do like focus group testing in your office with like an office dog, or do you just post it and then wait for the responses?
Yeah, we just post it and kind of wait for it, but we get responses straight away.
Yeah, because you've got a large enough audience now.
Yeah, and the fan base is like so engaged, and that's something we constantly focused on, is building, I don't like to call them fans actually, building genuine friends. Like we have nearly 1 million friends, and that's how we like to look at it, and that's an area we want to continue focusing on.
Yeah. Did you ever do meetups?
We're gonna start. I want to start doing more meetups actually.
Dog meetups, be like good.
Yeah, dog meetups. Because I know there's another YouTube channel that I'm quite friendly with. Gone to the Snow Dogs, the Huskies. Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're awesome. Yeah. So I've met them a few times actually, and they do a few meetups. I think they did one at VidCon. And quite a lot of fans turned up. Yeah,
you could just have a room with like, it would be like a club but for dogs, with your music blasting. It'd be amazing. Like it'd be so cool. And all the dogs just lying there like really happy, not biting each other. Yeah, exactly. That's really, really cool.
So yeah, we'll do more of that. See how it goes.
How do you feel about YouTube algorithm changes? Like, because you're data driven and your success as a company depends on YouTube. So do you ever feel like you're responding or experimenting to algorithm changes? How do you feel they impact your business?
We are like, we keep an eye on the YouTube side of things, but as a business, I know that like, you're basically renting real estate on someone else's land. And this is why we're pushing really hard on Petflix, because we've built the whole technology from the ground up. We don't license the technology from anyone. We've built all our apps, everything. We were very close to licensing the technology, but then I spoke to my developers in India. I was like, we can do this ourselves. And, if I sell the business, then it's more important that I own the technology. So I'm trying to drive everything to that.
Yours is one of the few YouTube channels I think could also at some point sell and retain its identity. So I think a lot of YouTube channels or businesses around YouTube channels that have sold, the content's completely changed or the faces have changed and then it's died.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting because you're one of the few investment opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it is in an interesting place where I know, let's say, a few companies are watching my moves.
Would you ever sell it? I mean, and go on to the next challenge? Would you stay in pets? What would you do?
In all honesty, I don't know. Like, if the offer was tempting enough, I'd look at it. It's an interesting way because I need to obviously think that, like, no business lasts forever, as well, and there's always a perfect time to sell. Sometimes that's in the back of my mind. But on the flip side of that, like, realistically, if I sell this, like, I could not think of a better business idea.
Yeah.
So, like, what would I do next? Maybe sell, like, organic dog food like everyone else does.
Yeah, and it's also, it's growing so fast and it's at a stage where you probably don't want to sell it while it's growing.
Right, yeah.
You're like, let me get it to a stage where I feel like it's ready to be passed on.
Maybe, yeah. So we'll see. But, like, you know, like, it's like a lot of entrepreneurs constantly have ideas and they have new business ideas. I've never had a new business idea in maybe like 4 years. Yeah, I've been so focused on this. I don't get distracted, and I know
you need to take time off.
Yeah, exactly. But also in the back of my mind, I don't think I can think of a better business idea that is like TV and music for dogs and cats.
Yeah, I agree. It is really weird and really engaging, and it's so irritating that it's like, you're like, damn, did I hit my peak too young? Like, what? Okay, final question. What would you like people to take away from your channel? If your channel could do one thing for the world, it's a pretty weird question.
One thing for the world?
One thing for the world, what would you like people to take away from Relax My Cat?
Just knowing that it's having a positive impact on the lives of cats and dogs. And that it genuinely, like, to the point where people want to use it for their dog's funeral, like, that's how engaged its, you know, pets have become with our content. So I don't know. I guess one thing I'd want to just to take away is to, I don't know, if they know anyone with a cat and dog, to check out our channel. Yeah. Subscribe. Yeah.
View. Watch for years.
Exactly. Yeah. Just press play.
Press play. Leave the dog. Press play.
Or if you enjoy smoking weed, it's a good. You know.
I will recommend this to so many dog and cat owners. Yeah. Though I have already. So cool. Awesome. Brilliant. Well, we're gonna switch to quickfire questions. What's your favourite YouTube channel that isn't yours?
Gary V.
Brand that you actually like?
I don't even wear anything branded. I just wear Primark stuff.
Your favourite cuisine?
Indian.
Favourite drink?
Tonic.
If you could be any animal, what would you be?
Ooh, probably a dog. It's easy. Just get to chill, eat, shit.
Your favourite social network?
YouTube.
Least liked social network?
Twitter.
The worst fad on YouTube?
Tide Pods. Challenge, yeah.
Phone or text?
Phone.
The next video you're going to make?
The one that's going to come out is a virtual dog walk in Atlanta.
Your dream brand deal?
Probably like Purina or Mars.
Your next holiday destination?
8 weeks in New York. It's not really a holiday though.
Final question, but a weird one to end on. The last time you cried?
The last time I nearly cried was when the guy told me about Relax My Dog when his dog had terminal cancer and he was using it. He like was tearing up and I was like so close.
So you just haven't cried in a long time?
Too happy to cry.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Not, the worst waste of a Tuesday morning.
It was the best.
Do you want to sign the camera? And we'll post it to the winner. But thank you so much for coming.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.
Joy.
It was good. I enjoyed it. And hopefully it was useful.